Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. In this episode, we're going to create an inventory management using AppSheet. And this is our database, which is we're going to use the Google Sheet as our database. The first table that we're going to add is the stocks inventory. Okay, so in stocks inventory, we have the item code as a unique key, item name, and then current available stocks, or let's say available stocks. Okay, then on the release table, we're gonna release, we're gonna take out our inventory. We call it release. Then here we have an ID, date and time, item name, item code, and then the quantity. The same goes to our add. So this is where we're gonna add the stocks. So we have the ID, date and item name, item code, and then the quantity. Now, since our database is ready, we have to upload this to our app sheet. So I'm going to choose my data and then choose this. And I'm going to look for this Google Sheet that I created, which is Inventory Management version 2. Then we can upload this to AppSheet. Just wait while it's loading. So the first table that we added is the stocks inventory. So let's review the table. So in stocks inventory, what we want as a key column is a unique ID or unique in all the tables. So the unique in all the table is in stocks inventory is the item code. There should be no duplicates in this. So we're gonna use the item code as a unique, as a key column. So here, we keep it as a text, and then available stocks, keep it as a number. So I'm gonna keep it all required except for available stocks. Okay. Then once we're done for that, let's go to the UX and review this view. I'm gonna keep it as a table and sort it by item code, let's say, or whatever you would like. And then I'm gonna just change the display icon inventory. So I'm gonna just use, let's say I'm gonna just use this. Then I'm gonna hit save. So we already did our stocks inventory. So let's open it in the big screen, and at least it will be easy for me to explain. All right. While it's loading, we will add another table, which is the release. Or I can rename this as, let's say, release stocks. And then here, I'm gonna rename this as add stocks. Here's our inventory management. I wanted to keep it as a dark mode, and then logo. All right. So over here, we just need to remove this separator. So we keep it as a plain number without a separator. Let's view the columns. So here and good to go. So over here, you can add stacks as you like. So you can just put the item code, the item name, and then the available stacks. Okay. Now let's add our second table, which is release stacks. New table. It's already here. Mm-hmm. Okay, because we just renamed the table, so that's why. Let's add it manually. Then let's add manually the table. So the first we're gonna add is the release stacks. Then later on we will follow it with the add stacks. Doesn't load. Okay. So release stacks. So I don't want to allow updates. So I can allow adds only and delete. Let's view the columns, or let's add first the view. Okay, release tags hits automatically here. I want it as a table view, and I want it to sort it by date and time, and I want it descending. And then column order, there should be only. So the first thing you're gonna see is the ID, then the date and time, then the quantity, and then what is the item name, and then the code. That's all. Then display should be release. So I should use this one. All good. So I'm gonna keep it in center. Okay. All right. Let's review our columns. So in release tax table, the ID here, so this is our unique ID. So our key column is the ID. We can just simply use a unique ID formula, which is already there. And here date and time, I have to change this to date and time and apply a formula here in app formula, which is now. should be all good. Then I saw that there is a initial value in here. I'm just gonna just remove this, and it's okay. And the unique ID, I don't want it to be editable. Okay. Okay, then item name, I'm gonna keep it as a text, and item name should be text also, and quantity should be number. So what I want here in the release tags, when user releases tags, I'm gonna choose the item name, and then item code should be automatically populated. So to do that, let's go back to our item name, or let's go back to, so here, whenever they place the name here, item code should be automatically populated. So to do that, I'm gonna just simply apply a formula here. I'm gonna just say any select. Our reference is the stocks inventory. Since we're looking up for the item code, so you place the item code here. Then I use this row that item name is equals to the item name. All right, all good. Then in item name, we can keep a data validation drop down. So I'm gonna just go here and just use select stocks inventory. Column is, since we're looking for item name, so item name. I just say true, and it should be all good. Okay. Now let's refresh the app. Release tags. Okay. So item name iPhone 10. Okay. So we have to change the, okay. Let's keep it as a reference view. Okay. Okay, we have an issue with the formula. So item code, we're in this row, item name is equals to the item name, which is correct. Okay, gotcha. So go back to stocks inventory and see what they label. So I'm gonna label the item code here. I'm gonna just and save. Okay, go back again. All right, here we go. All right. When we change it, okay. Then what we want is whenever the user put the iPhone 10 here, we wanted to see the available stocks of this particular item. So let's go back here and add a virtual column no, not here. We're gonna add in release stocks. Add a virtual column. So I'm gonna just name this as available stocks. Okay. Then I just use the formula simple any. Select, then stocks inventory column is available. This row item code is equals to item code. All right, should be all good. Then when user save this, this should be text. Mm, should be text. Okay, I'm gonna just refresh the app. Okay, so here iPhone 10, and it's automatically generate the item code, and the available stocks is 50. So I want as well, if the user put here an amount or a value, it he will see the new available stocks. All right, so to do that, let's go back the release stocks, then add another virtual column. ah Oops. So I'm gonna name this as new available stocks. And I'm gonna just look for the virtual column that I just created. Minus quantity. So minus the quantity here. And all good. And I want just to show it if is blank. Um, the column quantity is not blank. Okay. Then we're gonna hit save and refresh the app and see our changes. Then after this completed, we're gonna proceed to our next step. So here, iPhone 10, So 50, if he puts something, he will see the new available stocks. All right, all good. Second step, what that we're gonna do in order to here. So let's add first the data, guys. Sorry for that. Okay. So let's say I'm gonna add 5. So the new available stock should be in our inventory should be 45, but it will not reflect. It's because we did not yet create an automation. So in this inventory management, we're gonna use the webhook to update our stocks inventory. So it doesn't update here. Okay. So let's go to the next step, which is go to the manage, then integration, then make sure you enable the service, and then hit save. Okay, once you're done, go to the automation, just wait for, okay, then you create a task, new task. So I'm gonna name this, then call a webhook. So I'm gonna just name this as release stocks. I'm gonna just scoop minus. Then what is the table name that triggered this event? Release stocks. Then here, since we are using the same app, we can just use AppSheet API. AppSheet API. Second. Okay. Then what is the target table? So stocks inventory. And here you will have like this. So you can keep it. This action is edit, choose. Then we can just focus here and just hit enter here. Then we're gonna create an open. Okay, let's remove this. Here we're gonna create this symbol, which is this symbol. Then you have to hit enter. Then what we're gonna do is we need to find. So here down, this is the stocks inventory. This is the item code. So if you go here, here we have first to locate the item code, which is the key column of the stocks inventory. So you're gonna put here item code, then next. So next on the right side, this is the release stocks part. So what we're gonna do is to apply a formula, just use this any select. So we're gonna select the release stocks. Then the reference, we're gonna choose the item code since we are looking out for the item code. Then comma this row, that item code equals to item code. And just close this statement, and then this and this, then comma. Next step is the available stocks. This is where in your stocks inventory. So here what we're gonna do is we need to use this function or this formula. So the formula is will be the same, any select then release stocks. This time we're gonna choose the new available stocks. Okay, new available stocks, then comma. So the ID is equals to max row. We're gonna put the table name here, which is release stocks, comma, row number. So we're looking for the highest, latest one, row number. Then what you can do, you can just close it. Then that's it. Then we have to close this with this, and this, then with this, then with this. Okay. So I will just make it in bigger picture for you to see. Just a second. It's here. I don't have mouse, so sorry for that, guys. Okay. This is how it's look like. Okay. So here, edit. You can just keep it the same, or you can change the time zone as well. It's a Arabian Standard Time or Greenwich Mean Time, as you like, guys. Then here we have, this is the row key. So this is the row key of the stocks inventory. So this is the expression that I use. Then here is the available stocks that we need to update. So this is the expression that I use. Let's save. I will also copy this description. I mean this webhook body in the description. Once you're done for that, let's create a boot. New boot. I'm gonna name this as custom boot. Release stocks. Then I'm gonna configure the event. Create custom event. Okay, I'm gonna name this event will be the same. I'm gonna trigger only during add. Then I'm gonna just change this table reference. We're gonna trigger this in release stocks table. Then we're gonna add an add step, custom step. I'm gonna name this the same. So call a webhook. Then choose the task that you just created and hit save. To test the task if it's working, and we have an issues here, so there is an error. Okay, let's go back here. Let's read the error. So the error here, there is no enabled access key. So let's go back here and manage integration here. Okay, just a second. We already enabled it. Let's go back to the task. Okay. I have so many apps here, so I'm gonna just select the inventory management, which is correct. Okay, let's try to enable. It's already enabled, so let's create an access key, and that's it. It should solve the issue. Okay, so now the issue is the body template contains. Okay, let's expand again this. Okay, okay, we forgot to add here token. Okay, this is the final one. It should be okay. Hit save. Hmm? Now what is the issue? Starting token. So any select stacks is equals to item code available stacks. Okay, here is the problem. We should start always with this and then this and ends with that. Okay, and then let's save. Okay, here we go. Then what we're gonna do is to test the boot since we already added the data here. Once we trigger the boot, so we deduct 50, I mean 5, it should become 45 here. Let's try to test the boot. If you did not see any error, meaning your webhook is correct, so let's execute this. So it's saying okay. Okay, let's refresh the app. This iPhone 10 should become 45. As you can see, it's become 45. Let's try to repeat the same item. So I'm gonna choose iPhone 10 again, and then I'm gonna choose 5. So the available stock should turn to 40. So it's was 45, then it should become 40. It's become 40. Let's try the same item again and again. Let's test the app. Let's say I'm gonna make here 20. Hit save. So the inventory, there should be 20 left. Once I refresh this, let's go back to the inventory, and it's become 20. Let's try iPhone 15. Let's release iPhone. So I'm gonna release here. There are currently 50 in the stocks. Let's say I'm gonna release 25. So there should be 25 remaining. Okay. Go back to stocks inventory, 25. Let's try to do the same item. And there's 25. Let's say I'm releasing 20. There should be 5 remaining in the inventory. Okay. There should be 5. Okay. So we are all good. Then let's go to the add stacks. So we're gonna add the stacks. So new table. So I'm gonna add stocks. Then view columns. Okay, the key column here should be the ID. Okay, and keep it the same setup with the release tax. Okay, so let's make it like this. Not here. Okay, so it's all good. I don't want them to edit this, so I'm gonna use this blank. Then date and time should be date and time. I'm gonna use now. Then I'm gonna remove this initial value. Then name, I just keep it as a text, and item code as a text, quantity as a number. So here I'm gonna create a drop down, same as what I did in release tax. So I'm gonna just use uh, select expression, tax inventory, column is item name, which is true, and it should be good. And also here I'm gonna apply an item code and a formula, which is any select tax inventory, column is item code, and this row, that item name is equals to item name. Oops. Okay. I think guys, I need to replace my laptop. Anyway, when I get my revenue. Still, I'm not getting my revenue, guys. All right, so here is item name, and then I'm gonna just keep it as a text and make sure there is no any initial value or date of validity. Okay, and then quantity, hit save. Then I'm gonna add a virtual column, same what we did in release. Just wait. I'm gonna name this as available stacks. So the formula will be the same with the release stacks. Any select stocks inventory column available stocks. In this row, that item code is equals to item code. Should be okay. Let's save, and then let's add another virtual column. Okay, so I'm gonna name this as new available stocks. So I'm gonna just look for the virtual column that I just created, which is this one. This time we're gonna use plus the quantity. All right. Then hit save. Let's try to add a new data in our release tax. Oops, it's not yet. We need to add first UX before we do that. New view and select the add stocks. Okay, I'm gonna keep it a table and then I'm gonna just sort it by date. And they should only see three columns, which is four columns. ID, date and time, then how much is the quantity, then how much is the what is the item name, and then the item code. All right. I need to change the icon as well. I forgot. Then I'm gonna just change the icon. Okay. Say add. Let's use this. All right. Refresh. So add stacks. We try to add values here. So we're gonna choose. Let's go back. So let's see what is the lowest in the inventory is iPhone 15. Let's add iPhone 15. So available stock is 5. I'm gonna add, let's say, 45. So new available stock should be 50. Once I save it, it will not update there because we need to create another webhook for that. It's not updated, so let's go back. So what you're gonna do, you go to automation again and go to task. You can copy the same body here that you created earlier. Just wait, we will copy it and then just replace some of the columns. I already copied it. Just wait. Okay, all good. Then I'm gonna create a new task, call a webhook, and I'm gonna name this task as add stocks. So okay, I'm gonna name this. So it will trigger in add stocks. Then we're gonna choose AppSheet API. Then choose here. If you have so many apps, you can choose which app are you working now. This is inventory management. Then target table is stocks inventory. Then you can paste same formula, just you need to replace some of it. So here, instead of release tax, I'm gonna change it to add. Then here, instead of release tax, I'm gonna change it to add. Then also here, okay. Then I'm gonna just hit save. So this formula, I'm gonna just paste it in the description. so that you can use that one. You can use it as your reference. So then I'm gonna create a boot, new boot. Okay. So this one is add stocks. Skip it. Then the event name will be the same. I'm gonna trigger this during add only and change this table into add stocks, and then go up, add step, custom step, new step, call a webhook. I'm gonna name this the same. Then select the webhook that you created, add stocks, and hit save. Since we already added the data here in add stocks, once we trigger the event, this iPhone 15 should become 50. Let's test this up. Not this. This is the one, sorry. Add stocks. Then let's test. Let's execute this. If it said okay, then our webhook and automation is correct. Okay. So once we refresh, it should trigger it should change to 50. It's changed to 50. And let's use the same item if you're gonna face an issue. So iPhone 15. So currently it has 50. I want to add 20. It should, okay, let's make it 50 again. It should become 100 in the inventory. It should become 100. Let's add another item, same item again. Then 100 I add. It should become 200. Okay. So let's try iPhone 10. Let's add stocks iPhone 10. I want to currently the stocks is 20. I'm gonna add 200. It should become 220. Then we're gonna repeat same item just to make sure that we don't have an error for repeating stocks. 220. So I'm gonna add here same. Let's say I'm gonna add, it's currently 220. I'm gonna add 80 and it's become 300 should be. It should be 300. All right. So this is how to create an inventory management. Two, if we voided, for example, this entry, this quantity should go back to the inventory. For example, if we voided this, let's say this iPhone 10, once we void it, this quantity, it should return to inventory. But it's not happening because we have to do another webhook for that, and that will be on the part 2. Okay, so we're gonna cover that once we delete in release tags, or once we delete in add stacks, it should be minus in the inventory. All right, so just wait for the part 2. And if you learned something in this video, please don't forget to subscribe or comments if you have any question. You can email me as well, but do not flag all the emails. Okay, and I hope you like this video and leave a comment. What is your thought about this inventory management using the AppSheet and a webhook? Thank you so much for watching and see you next time in my next video. All right, my recorder is stuck. Sorry for that. Wait, my Google Chrome stocks, guys. So, okay. All right. See you.